been a while. Oh, whatever you did, dude, that is where it's at.
That's what it needed.
Yes. What was that? Remember that. Write it down.
That is the gain for the microphone that you're speaking into.
Oh, yeah. Now I can hear myself.
It was crispy.
It does sound good.
It sounds way more crispy than it did. Oh, dude.
Oh,
see,
dude, yeah.
Dude, it just needed to be cranked in the beginning anyways.
I literally always
He
run
sounds
completely
good.
Opposite.
Dude.
Completely opposite, because when I'm playing guitar, it's always louder than fuck.
Yeah, because it's guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
We're
Our
just
voices
talking.
don't.
We're like talking a bunch of dumb shit tonight, probably.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk all kinds
Episode
of
number 1, right?
Yeah.
Episode number 1 of what?
Long time in the making.
Number 1 of a million, my guy.
For now on, we're the podcast with no name.
We just call it what?
No Name Podcast.
I think you can.
I bet that's a name. I 100% guarantee someone's got the No Name Podcast already locked.
We should totally not have any plans. Just kind of just whatever, you know? Like, what's happening?
Man, what's not happening? Everything's going on.
You hear some feedback.
Pop.
It sucks doing a podcast with a sound guy. Because he's going to always be like,
looking.
But he'll slam his phone down on the table, though.
This guy.
So many things I don't even realize.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so yeah, like I feel like right here I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's going on with you guys, man? What y'all been up to? We haven't really like got to actually talk.
Yeah.
Since the first time me and him ever met.
Yeah.
So like
only second time ever meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's changed? That's been like
Since
what,
the
a few
first time.
weeks, right?
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been a kind of a couple month long thing between me and Sam. And I'm sure you guys had your things.
He hit me up one day and said there was a podcast opportunity, and then I think like 2 days later I messaged him about it, and then the next day I was over here.
Right.
So it wasn't a long build up before I met you. It was a 1 day build up.
Yeah, you kind of get like the first time butterflies in your belly type shit going on right now. Like,
what, doing the podcast?
Like, what are we doing? You know, like, but I don't think I think that's the whole thing about it is like, we don't really have a particular goal. I don't think we're just trying to kind of talk about some things, go through different stuff, like,
Vent to the world.
Yeah, you know, just dig deep if we get deep. If we don't, you know, it's whatever, you know, but
it's unavoidable. This man's here. I think we ought to go around and introduce it. Like,
yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm Sonny Varma.
I'm Sam Cliff. I'm the audio guy.
I'm Austin Haverland.
Right. So now you know the names to the voice. Sooner or later, we'll probably get some audio or some visuals.
Do you guys have any other projects other than this?
I mean, I'm always working on a project, but I always delete it the day after.
Oh, well, I mean, long-term projects?
Perfectionist shit.
More than 25 hours in recycling bin?
I like to play Megadeth. I like to try to play Megadeth. Try. Emphasis.
Right. What kind of guitar you got and all that stuff? Like, what do you...
I've got a couple. Not all of them are mine. I've got they're all cheapos, man. I play on all cheapos. I think the most expensive guitar I've got is a Jackson King V. And it's not even a King V because it comes with a fixed bridge.
Right.
So
like you kind of been getting into music pretty heavy lately.
More
I
and
feel
more.
like more and more.
Music is my life. I can say that.
Yeah, and you were not like that like last year.
There's a lot of things I wasn't last year.
Right. So like, you know, you've went through a whole change of things, and like, you know, you're kind of growing and becoming whatever.
I mean, change is inevitable.
You feel is
Yeah,
for sure. I'm not hating on it at all.
At least you're changing something that you want to change. Like, it's not something the universe is making you change.
Well, I guess a year ago I didn't have this whole setup we're using.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it was completely spur of the moment. Oh man, I don't want to just throw out a sponsor, like, you know, non-sponsor kind of thing, just be throwing names around. But yeah, I actually bought this set using something called Klarna, which is it's a 4-time payment rig.
Right.
It's like,
I've heard of it.
They give you a one-time use debit card, and you can actually use it at stores with tap to pay.
Right.
Right. And you could go to the grocery store and pay off your groceries in 4 payments over the next 4 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
My wife, which I'm not really doing this for any any
advertising or nothing,
advertisement or anything like that. But she does own a online boutique, and she, I believe it's Klarna. She accepts Klarna and Afterpay.
See, that counts as other projects, though. When I asked, like, whatever, that even if it's your wife's project, it's still your project.
Right, yeah, and, like, it's shoppwb.com, of course, shameless plug. But no, I mean, they've done great, man. Like, they kind of started, I kind of just, they wanted a lot of guidance from me. Like, I was going to step in and do it, but I'm like, you guys, this is your business. Like, I'll help you, and guide you, but you guys figure it out. And, like, they went out and found wholesalers, and it sounds easy, but it's a pretty big task. I mean, to be able to hook up with different online retailers and go through that whole process. And, they went through the process of, getting LLC, which we talked about, nowadays, like,
it's a fingertip away and $100.
I mean,
crazy.
You could have a career literally on your phone. You could be have three careers. Like, you could be a stockbroker.
If you have the best iPhone, you can go take crazy photos, and that's your whole living. Like,
even if you just had
that's crazy.
Even if you just had the iPhone fucking 2, like, you can get, on anything.
Oh, I guess that's true. I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to do the photo stuff, but if you had an iPhone 2, you can still you can process anything you want.
I'm sure.
Anything you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the point is like, it's just so easy these days, like, to get into things like back in the day. If you wanted to, I literally started a retirement account from my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have to call anybody. I didn't have to talk to anybody. I didn't have to. And I wish I knew that earlier, or, like, was more hip or more savvy to figure that out.
Just stock retirement?
No, it's like, actual, like, IRA, and
I was
stuff
say,
like that. Like,
some companies will put money into their own stock for you for your retirement.
Yeah. I've seen some of that,
That's kind of crazy. My mom's company gives them X amount of stock each year that they work there. And then for their retirement, they can sell it all, or they can reinvest it into other parts of the stock. So, like, if they wanted to, they could take all that stock market money and just sell it and then put it into something else in the stock market.
Right.
That's how she got into stock markets.
I think that's super badass. Like, to be able to, like, literally just do whatever you feel like. You could be a stockbroker. You could be a website designer. You can be a website owner. You can
be a journalist. You could be a poet.
Yeah.
You could be a book writer. Anything
artist.
Tips of your hands.
Music. You can be I mean, it's just wild how the world has changed. Like, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s and 2000s.
Imagine before they had a touchscreen.
Yeah.
Just not having a touchscreen sounds insane, because we can do all of those things with our touchscreen. We can have a career, we can make a retirement, we can make money, we can do whatever we wanted with the touchscreen that we didn't have 20 years ago.
The government can get your fingerprint.
Yeah.
They can track your location at all points.
They were going to get my fingerprint anyways.
I was the one that didn't want to be a crackpot, and here I go. Like, I was going to write down a note, be like, no crackpot, but, like, damn, here I go.
Right. You're being a crackpot.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
What exactly is a crackpot?
I know. I was, like, kind of wondering what he meant. I'm like, I'm not going to say it.
That's kind of...
Yeah, like,
what?
Not entirely sure about the origin of it, because I'm sure there was a crackpot somewhere sometime, and the name stuck and has been there for years, but crackpot conspiracy.
So, like, how are you being a crackpot in this situation?
Dude, I can't even remember what I said that I was talking about 10 seconds ago, man.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good.
Oh, so does that mean, like, you're a cracked pot? You don't remember being a whole pot a second ago?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. Yeah, like, you got, you don't have all the beans in the kettle.
Yeah.
Screws loose. Yeah, I guess that's where it fits.
I guess.
Hey, it is what it is.
The old sayings used to be the best, and then it all changed. Some old sayings don't make any sense anymore.
Right.
The birds and the bees.
Right.
Do you think that this is catching us?
It is.
Oh, it is. You can see the vibration in each of our strings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're not, like, wasting our time.
No. I mean, Sam's is the only one that doesn't vibrate very often, but he's not talking as much.
I'm paying attention to stuff.
Dude, I can hear you good now.
Is he vibrating on that though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that my waveform was small. So.
Yeah, that's way better.
So we're like, we got to take like a little smoke session here. I like the wax, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into the wax stuff.
Yeah, I like the wax.
I love it.
Especially over. I'm from an era where like, we were scared to death. Like, we can cut this out.
Let's try to give him.
He said, "Get the laptop back."
Like, send him a message.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like.
Oh. Okay, I got the message. It took a second. Our brains wasn't linked.
I so missed it. I missed the message.
We used to be really good about that. No, Austin and I worked together at Lewis Tree Service for a long 6 months.
That was why I asked earlier if you had heard about my accident, because me and him was working together because I had an accident and then I got changed lots. And when I changed lots, I worked with Sam and everybody else.
Oh, okay. We're totally like being loud as fuck right now.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm awful.
Man, that microphone that you got, it'd pick up a fart in the wind outside.
Yeah, this is a bad bitch.
Yeah.
I'm totally getting...
Mine fits right into the PC that's that good. And that one's still probably way better than mine.
I also vape, so pardon me if that gets on your nerves. But anyway, like, I definitely want to get my own setup. Like, I want to be able to do this, like, just on a whim. Like, just flip it on and
just
be
go.
Like, tonight we're going to do it, or, like, tonight we're going to have a special guest. Like, this is actually remarkable.
Yeah,
to have 3 microphones, 3 headphones. That's a lot.
Even
People
if you
don't
didn't have
realize that.
any of that, we could have had all of this set up with just the stuff I brought.
Right.
Like Rockville?
Yeah.
They have a 3-man pack. I bought it because I knew I was doing a single podcast, single man, and I knew I was going to have at least one guest. And I was like, okay, what happens if you have 2 people that are really close together? They both want to be on the guest.
Right.
And then the other one tells the other guy.
Right.
He's like, hey, yeah, come with me.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm going to need 3 mics.
Right. So, like, this is remarkable to have all that in one setting. I mean, I've off and on, like, and it sounds like you guys kind of did the same thing. Like, I've off and on wanted to be a part of something like this. Like, yeah. I've wanted to have a platform that I could speak on and discuss things and talk about things and kick ideas and get different perspectives, and like I've always wanted to do that, Yeah. And like it's remarkable to be sitting here right now, like actually with 3 people, that are kind of on the same page. Like, we're all from kind of different places and different areas, and like
different walks of life.
We feel like different, but like it's cool, and it's actually like a feat already, like to be able to. Like, have it all come together finally, like, and it's like come to fruition now. Like,
I mean, I did it a little for myself on Podbean. Had a channel, Can I Borrow Your Ear? I had 6 episodes. They were all pretty successful. I always wanted to have more than one person on there because it was just me telling my stories over and over again.
Right.
But I guess it's not over and over again because they were just different stories. In my head, I've heard all my stories. So when I say it out loud, it's just another time that I tell one of my stories.
Right.
It's just other people that I've never actually talked to.
Yeah.
Like mouth to ear that hasn't heard it yet.
Which that's awesome. Like, and I mean to kind of carry people on to something like that, you have to be almost animated. Like,
yeah.
Because me personally, like if it's just me with a camera. Motherfuckers are not going to want to watch that. Like,
see, and
I don't think.
I'm not even that animated, but at the same time, when you get some topic that, for some reason, it just sparks something inside you. I've got like 3 topics that if I talk about, it doesn't matter what I'm doing with my hands. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, period. Like, you can see how excited I am about the topic. Like, they want to learn about that topic from someone that's that excited about it. Nobody wanted to go to science class and see, like, a monotone teacher talk about chemicals. That wasn't fun for anybody.
I do.
That's because you're the one that should be the teacher.
He kind of looks
You're
like
the one that gets excited about the chemicals. So you should be the teacher.
he kind of looks like Breaking Bad, when he was like 22 or something. Like,
Don't fuck with me.
you know what I'm saying? Like when what's
Walter White.
Yeah, Walter White when he was like 22. You know, like it's not quite Walter White, like
it was
cancer
before he found
selling
out that
meth.
he had cancer.
Right.
He shaved his head for craps and giggles this time.
Right. But it's like back when he like wanted to be in a band and like stuff like that. Like, you know, I mean, Sam's a good dude, but that's just kind of when I looked at him, I kind of thought. I love the hair, by the way. Lack of hair, actually.
Yeah. I want a much more substantial lack of hair because the pattern really shows.
It's growing back now. Yeah.
Oh, hell
You've got to
no.
do it again, right?
Hell no, I got to do it again.
With the beard, with the no hair, if you match that with the Panic of the Disco shirt, it just only screams one thing for me. Like, that's a band guy. He's a band guy.
Well, no, but I mean, like, I like the look, you know? Like, nothing's bad about it, so keep it up, man. You know, you're looking good, brother, you know? You got to keep moving. And
I like looks that make people look at you.
Right.
I don't think any look's a good look when it comes to, I'm wearing this stupid cowboy hat. Like,
well, the only way that works is that you're trying to project an image of yourself that you want somebody to interpret that way.
Well, right. I just know, like, one, I'm already 6 foot. Holy crap! Like, I'm 6'3". I walk into a room, people give me that weird eye. So then you got that cowboy hat too, and then they really get the weird eye because I look like I'm 6'6" in that thing.
Okay. Okay. I have a question.
What?
So you, Austin, are a man of very spiritual backgrounds.
Yes.
And you do, as far as I know, believe in the frequency of the universe and the frequency of beings.
Yes.
So, what fucking vibe? Like, no, okay, let me rephrase. Does clothing affect the vibe and aura somebody puts off?
Okay, I have something to go with that, but it does and it doesn't. Okay, so no color is significantly there. Color is only a vibration. Everything's actually just gray. And when you look at it, the vibration that it gives off into your eyes is what tells the brain that that's that color.
Yes.
So in all actuality, that is one of the things that I like to use to be able to tell people that chakras exist, because you can't see your chakras. Mm-hmm. Well, you shouldn't be able to see color either. Everything should be gray. So for you to be able to see these colors, it says that there is more there that it isn't really there.
Right.
That vibration is actually there, or you wouldn't see the color.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have a camera, because if we did, we'd just sit here and nod.
I know, just nodding at each other.
There's a lot of nodding going on.
So in all actuality, it does. Like, if you have a child and they have a blue bedroom, it will make their throat chakra more vocal. And when they go to school, they are going to be more vocal child. That is factual.
Really?
It's very fact. Very fact. If you have red, that's the color of your root chakra, and they will be more rooted throughout their life, and they will be more family affiliated.
Now, see, I always heard like red sent bad vibes usually.
It does, but you're not supposed to wrap yourself around one vibration either.
Right.
So, like, if you have a blue room and everything in your room is blue, like no other chakra is ever going to be able to influence your life like that vocal chakra.
What about like purple?
Purple is the crown chakra. That's my favorite chakra. It's also my favorite color. Yeah. So the crown chakra is what helps you talk to your higher beings.
I wonder if that's why we always had like
the pineal gland.
Good success.
The pineal gland is purple.
I picked purple for a reason.
I love purple, man.
You know, because like you hear like, well, I mean, like restaurants, okay? A lot of times restaurants are, red and yellow, and that maybe not as a chakra, but like as a color with on the statistic side, makes you hungry. Yeah. You associate red and yellow with food for some reason. That's why McDonald's is red and yellow. That's why Gold Star is red and yellow. If you think of it, Taco Bell used to have red and yellow in the logo. Red and yellow is a prominent, color.
They do it with beverages too. That's why so many beverages are certain colors.
So I always heard like purple was calming, and like it also has like a root to royalty. Like it's respected.
So it's really hard to weave. Like the fabric itself to be purple is a very high vibration. Mm. It's one of your top chakras. From the bottom to the top, it changes the vibration. Your bottom chakra has the least vibration, and your top chakra has the most vibration. So purple is one of the most royal colors, even in spirituality.
Right. And I've always like heard that. So like I picked purple for a reason, and like there's a lot of companies that put a lot of money into that, like to pick certain vibes. And like yellow, something about yellow too is like if a room is painted yellow. And you'll notice, or like if it's dull, it's somewhere where they don't want you to be all the time. So like that's why in restaurants you see a lot of the dull colors. They really don't want you to sit there all day.
Yeah, that's true.
They want you to come in, they want you to sit down, they want you to leave. They want you to get the fuck up out of the seat and go home. You know what I mean? Like it's not very inviting, you know?
It's not somewhere you're gonna stay all day, for sure.
Right. So like that's kind of something that you know, that people have told me, and I've researched myself.
So what's weird is the yellow chakra is actually the solar plexus chakra. And what's weird is like being around that color is actually something that should make you feel like you should be around the sun more, which means you should be walking out the door.
To get to the sun.
Right,
yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, it makes you want to be outside more, the color yellow. It's actually why... you know how they have that weird thing of like wildflower is like being in a girl. It's like a country girl, and they always want like yellow sunflower is wildflowers. That has a lot to do with them wanting to be outside more and being a free spirit.
Right. So there is some truth to that then. Like, you know, and like I said, man, people they pay a lot of money to figure out what colors do what. And like I always heard, like, you know, you get a bright color car, the insurance costs more because you're more likely, and that's true. I had an bright orange color car, and my insurance was so much more than somebody who had a black one.
What's weird is like, have you ever heard of like someone that went to go get a car, like an exciting car, anyways, like something that goes fast, and them get it in like a black or a white, and then be like still super excited about it? Usually, it's a crazy color. It's like they want people to look at it.
Yeah, I had a 2016 Challenger with the 6.4 liter Hemi.
And what color was it?
Bright orange.
See, that's what I'm saying. So like,
it was Dukes of Hazzard.
It actually is only because the police are going to find you way easier, but it should be because you want everyone to look at you, and you're going to do something stupid while everyone's looking at you.
And that's what happened. And I got pulled over, and I literally came to a fucking hair thin line of losing my license. I almost lost my license with that car.
I've lost my license before, and it wasn't even, it wasn't because of a stupid car. Like, my brain is real weird. Like, I owned a bunch of Saturns.
Right.
Like, no one's scared of jumping in a Saturn, right? Like, it's a little, what, you're gonna go 80 miles an hour? Well, when you go 85, you can hear the plastic slap the sides. So in my head, I'm like, if I wreck, I'm gonna die. The plastic's just gonna shatter, and I'm gonna smack a pole.
Yeah.
Like, the frame's nothing. So like, that's where the adrenaline came from. It wasn't like I'm going 130. It was I'm going 90, and I still might die.
Right. I feel you.
Just go kart.
I live that, except it's every day, constantly, all the time. Except for while I'm sleeping, maybe.
Peter!
Yeah, you can't say that you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It was an accident.
All right, so reset. But anyway,
I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about. I want to go back.
His brain works. His brain works in topics.
And talk about the blue room thing. You guys said growing up in a blue room.
Yeah. It makes you more of a vocal child.
I grew up in a blue room.
You're not a very vocal person.
I didn't do it for that long. It was about 5 years.
Were you when you were in a blue room?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was during the dawn of Netflix.
I was going to say, I don't know you as a significantly loud person.
Hard to say. I was living with my grandma. That room is now tan. But
oops, sorry.
So I could. It's fine. It's a ribbon.
Just letting everybody know I'm smoking, so go ahead and hit your shit too.
Mine's dead.
Hey, if you don't smoke, and I'm not talking about cigarettes, you probably don't want to even listen to this podcast.
It's not going to be as fun.
It's probably not.
I mean, if we wanted to dig into that deep of topics, we could, but I mean,
I gotta be high to do that.
I mean,
bro, throw some of this in there.
I think
that. It's not too bad.
Oh yeah,
dude,
we'll do that.
Open that thing up. Do it.
So Sam realized that after I tore up Uranus with that, and there was only X amount of planets left.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'm about to go meet the monk on the mountain and shit.
Oh. Yeah, for real. We blew it once, and he was laying in his bed when he was trying to get his gear together.
Yeah.
His gear wasn't getting together while he was on his bed.
Help clear that out. I think I'm gonna switch a light off.
Okay.
I don't want to make a bunch of noise.
I want to talk about that guy on here too. I'm waiting until he gets back.
No, you guys go ahead, man. I'll
we can go on this blue room thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want you to take that. Yeah.
Basically, it's what frequencies that you let into your retinas is what charges. So that's why being in a blue room charges that vocal chakra more. It's just because that's what the vibration is you're putting into your retinas. You're not going to find that written down anywhere either, which is weird. Like, they don't want to talk about how you charge your chakras or, like, how to use your chakras, it seems like. But, like, all monks, they know the secret. It's basically you put yourself in the environment that you want to let out. So if you're around all of those colors, which is all very, very natural. Like, if you go out into the forest, you're going to see those colors. And those colors are going to charge your chakras. But if you're in a blue room, that's going to be the most charged chakra you have.
Tell me the vibe just isn't better like that.
It does feel a little better. It feels a little romantic, though. I need, like, a candle and a steak.
Well, I ain't trying to get like that with you guys. But you guys ain't got the right equipment. You ain't got the right equipment for me.
We brought plenty of equipment. Not that one, though.
Yeah, nah. But I feel like it feels a lot better.
But does that make sense?
I almost was too.
It makes sense, but I do have a question to pose.
Yeah.
Where does this information come from? Because, like, everything you say, for some reason, it does click in my head like a fact. Like, entirely fact for some reason. And you always have been that way to me.
Yeah.
Like, always straight up and true.
One of the reasons I want to talk about that guy, too, is because that is the direction I would go if I could do anything in life.
Yeah.
If I could do anything in life, I would probably go ahead and try to be a guru or, like, find 2 or 3 gurus to mentor me throughout 10, 15 years, and then I would go and do that. But it's only because my time alone is more valuable than my time with other people, usually. That doesn't mean that they're not, like, a stranger down the street isn't as important as me, but it does mean, like, I do understand how significant and that means I know how significant I need to be to somebody else if I'm going to be dedicated to that person.
I completely... there you go again, man. It just clicks. Exactly.
Yeah, but the only reason it seems so factual is simply because it's hours of time and meditation and talking to things that aren't exactly, like, physical for me to understand these different things. I've gone through a lot. Like I told him, like, I've got a lifetime worth of crazy stuff that's happened to me in 28 years. I had a 35-foot fall, smacked 5 bones, smashed them. Was in a hospital for 3 months, then in a physical therapy rehab facility center for 6 months. Had to relearn how to walk. And then before that, I had found 2 people dead.
Jesus.
So, like,
that's tough.
And those are just, like, the top 3. Like, if you want to dig into, like, childhood crazy stuff, like, there's everyone I think has some childhood crazy stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have to, for me to learn everything that I know now, I had to unpack all that stuff to myself. Like, therapist is fine, but if you can't sit there and actually sit there by yourself and have those conversations, like, how did this benefit me? What do I need to not take away from the situation? Learn from other people's mistakes before you become that person. I'm a very big believer in that. If you run into somebody and they make a giant mistake around you, if you don't learn from that, you will make that mistake, and it will be a deja vu moment.
Right.
Because you had decided in the past not to listen to that lesson. And then when you get that deja vu moment, it's almost like your past self smacking you. Like, why didn't you believe that? Or it's your future self saying you're in the right place.
Deja vu.
I've had that plenty of times. Yeah. I've had being in the right place several times.
Yet again, I concur. When you experience deja vu, it's not so much that, well, like, for me, mostly it's future tense. Deja vu comes back to me. It feels like I walk into a room and I go, I've been here before at this exact height. through these exact eyes. You know what I mean? Like, sure, it happens in school. You're going to have that when you're walking through the same hallways 100,000 times. Something might recur.
That's true.
You could walk in and see the exact same situation all over again. The same words.
Right.
Even though that should be statistically impossible, it's not.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and I was working at UPS, and I had just stopped a job and started working there. And I got hired on to a position that most people didn't get hired on for there. Like, they usually are like a picker on a forklift, or they go and grab stuff. And I ended up in like a 6-person unit that shipped out LTL. So, like, I don't know how I ended up with that job to begin with. And I was looking at a label, and I knew the number before I looked at the label, and I got cold chills.
Wow.
I was like, well, I'm supposed to be here. And I met 3 or 4 people through that job that I needed to meet. Like, one of them ended up being one of my best friends. She's amazing. I actually ended up buying her father's Saturn off of her for $26. I paid $26. I paid the taxes for the year, and he said, you can go ahead and take it, which would have never happened if I would have never worked at UPS and then eventually ran into her.
Right.
Well, like, one great thing can lead to a whole fallacy of bad things.
Well, look where I'm sitting at right now, though.
Well, yeah.
If I wouldn't have been in tree trimming, if I wouldn't have fallen, I wouldn't have switched lots. Me and Sam wouldn't have been good friends, and we would have ended up sitting here at this table. 100%.
Yeah. You know, I mean, sometimes things are just like chance, too. You know, like you just, you know, like whatever you want to say it is, but sometimes it's just chance or luck. You know, sometimes, you know, you just, I mean, yeah, you can make your own luck too. Like, you can make bad luck for yourself, or you can make good luck for yourself. But
I got it. This is how I've been thinking of everything. Quantum entanglement, which is a real scientific theory.
Yes.
But it's observed on the atomic scale, micro scale. And it's basically, oh God, what did I just say? What the fuck did I just say?
You're crackpot.
I am a crackpot, but this is science. Okay,
now that I know what it is, I can call you that.
I got it. I'm back. Quantum entanglement.
Yes. How it's a real theory.
On the microscopic scale, 2 particles can be entangled, which means that no matter where in space, meaning like it could be over there on your floor in that piece of dust, or over there on your floor in that piece of dust, but both of them particles
are entangled.
It's
also like the thought of you thinking a thought and then me knowing what you're thinking is also the same thing as a quantum entanglement.
Yes. And at the...
Now, does that quantum entanglement last forever? Or it's just that moment? That moment.
No, forever.
Which is crazy.
Forever.
So, like him getting the car for $26, was that a quantum entanglement, or was that a chance?
Well, me and that person still are friends, and we haven't worked together in 5 years.
Right.
Well, it could be like this, I guess. Big decisions are a decision to quantumly entangle yourself. To go to this place and go do that thing, which many people are afraid of, and it's called anxiety.
Right.
It's...
So this is how I've always thought of it. Well, I guess not always, but in the last 3 years, I've definitely been thinking of life. Is this, you're going to fail at something in your lifetime anyways. And no matter what, if you go out and do everything that you possibly can, like all opportunities, which is crazy because most people don't want to take one. Usually one opportunity is enough to make someone think, okay, this is going to change my life. But if every opportunity that falls in your lap you try, and then you keep with the one that is least resistant to your life, that is how people find their passions in all actuality.
I used to have a friend, and he's not my friend anymore, and I kind of wish he was, I'll be honest. Dave, if you listen to this, I'm sorry. He used to talk about the frequency of consciousness, and there's actually... people out there who agree, and I think that's part of what you believe. The ohm. And it has a whole graph, which I guess I'll have to put up. I'm the sorry sucker who has to do all that shit. But let me pull this up.
And set up the audio.
Oh, fuck.
Well, now that we know how to do it, it won't be that hard.
Well,
we had a lot of small brain farts.
Sounds good, though.
Basically, it
does sound good.
It's a scale from 0 up to... Do you know?
I don't know. For the ohm?
I'm trying to get
the ohm is actually not a the range doesn't start at 0 for the ohm.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably starts at like 480 or something. Lowest wavelength of light, so might correspond.
The ohm frequency is actually 432 hertz, and that's supposed to be the frequency of the universe, which I do think that they had said that it had changed. But in general, that's the frequency that you try to match with your ohm during those meditations, and it's supposed to hit your pineal gland, which is your crown chakra, into letting you absorb information from the universe.
So you are a Buddhist?
So I consider myself an ominist. An ominist is someone that believes that all religions have some inherent meaning, but they do not believe that any one of them is honestly 100%.
I know it's weird to just make decisions right on the level over the air, but yeah, I think I'm on that level. I think that might be my identification.
So I think that all religions are off of some of the same scriptures, and they were just separated into regions. Some of them, their hardcore meanings got a little shook in each of their moves.
So you're talking like heavy ass like movie plot levels of tearing up a book that was so powerful.
Okay, so I'm talking about one of the first religions ever was Egypt, okay? And if you read into their religion, it's pretty obvious that most of their religion comes from the cosmics. So most of it has to do with planets. Most of it has to do with the sun and the moon. And with all of their small statues of acorns everywhere, we can assume that they knew about the pineal gland. The pineal gland has always, in the past, been seen as that acorn figure. So we can assume that they knew about the other chakras. You're not going to have your crown chakra open and the universe not give you the information to open up the other ones. So I think that with those scriptures, some of it turned into Christianity because a lot of it matches up. A lot of it. The Romans...
Sorry, I had to take a leak. But, yeah.
But the Romans were the next ones to start a religion, and they actually honestly did it just to be able to influence their soldiers for them to have something to fight for. They moved all of their sculptures of their 10 gods into one center at one point in time because they were going to be in a battle that they thought that they were going to lose. They knew that they were going to lose. So they took all of the statues of all of their gods and they placed them in a circle. And that was supposed to be their gods having a meeting about how they are not going to lose the next battle. Mm. It was just crazy for them to actually...
Sam's over here brewing with something.
I'm brewing. I try to wait for people to finish.
I mean, fuck it.
I'm not trying to be.
If you let them keep going, I'll branch out to every religion.
Don't let them keep going.
Yeah, I'll
branch out. You got to butt back in.
I'll branch out to every religion, and then we'll be back to.
You're on the topic I want to be.
Everyone will know exactly
you
what
are on the topic that I want to be. That's the thing.
Well, that's good.
I guess I have the point now.
He works with lists.
Christianity was the talking point.
I'm not. For anyone that's Christian that's listening, I'm not against your religion.
I'm not against Christianity.
I'm a Christian.
See,
I would never.
I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I think that any religion that's supposed to make you a better person should never be frowned upon.
Right.
Period.
Exactly.
Even if you don't agree with anything that's in the book, if they're trying to make themselves be a better person, then you should be okay with that because not everyone can sit there and meditate in their own head and make themselves a better person.
If religion, as you were saying, is based off of the cosmic astrology study.
Yes.
So, like I was saying, a book that's really powerful, right? It has the knowledge from the ancient civilization. Mm. This is Crackpot. I'm going full Crackpot. Fuck it. I'm going full Crackpot.
I mean,
A book that is so powerful that it has to be separated. I am talking like an epic movie plot.
There is a book that I will say has enough power that probably caused World War II, and I don't know if I can say it on air.
I don't know about. I don't know necessarily about.
I 100% know that there is a book that Jewish people would have to read before they had their being a full adult. What is that called? When they're 13.
Bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah. Before they had their bar mitzvah, and they wrote and they would speak their long speech in Hebrew, they would also have to learn this book. And this book taught some very, very interesting things that makes you also realize why Hitler put fluoride in the concentration camps.
Sonny, can I get a drink?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely do. Mi casa, su casa.
Like, you're telling me that Hitler somehow put fluoride in the water in the concentration camps?
You need something to drink too?
I'm good.
But I mean, there's a lot of Christians that want to shut off some of this stuff, but dude, we believe that a man came on the earth, died, and came back.
Yeah.
So to say that you don't believe in ghosts or spiritual things, or like, dude, there's power in all of that stuff. Yeah. And that's why some of it they warn you about in the Bible, because there is power. If it said this is fake and it's not real, it didn't say that.
Yeah.
It says be weary of astrologers.
Yeah.
That means there is power in a lot of that. Right. There is power. It never denies that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Christians who they misinterpret things or they're not open-minded. That's one thing that's one thing that Jesus was, though. He was open-minded. Yeah. So it's like, but, just like, there's a lot of stuff that, Catholics do that I don't agree with. And I am Christian, but I'm non-denominational.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't have
there's a lot of very big differences.
Yeah, I mean, between a Baptist and a Catholic. But a lot of people don't realize that they're both Christians. They just believe that there's different ways.
Yeah, there's different variations of Christianity.
There's a lot of people who don't know that. Maybe we do, but maybe someone listening doesn't know that.
So I was raised a Baptist. I went to church every Sunday.
My mom said she was a Baptist, but we never went to church. We never did.
See, we went to church every Sunday. My mom was actually a Sunday school teacher for 15 years.
Right.
She's not exactly like super Christian anymore, but she still believes in everything that she taught.
Right.
I went to the church down the road here for probably 10 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then right around that, I turned around and just went straight atheist.
Right.
I was just like, fuck it, I don't believe in anything.
Yeah. And is that still how you feel? You don't believe in anything, or now you're kind of spiritual?
I think I'm on the level with damn it, hitting cables and shit. I think I'm on the level with this conscious level thing.
The consciousness.
Right. Fucking hell.
God consciousness.
So
enlightenment.
I'll go ahead and say one thing. Okay? This is something that digs very, very deep into spirituality. There's 2 or 3 things that I would say anyone needs to learn before they jump into spirituality, and it's very easy to learn. Yeah, and this has a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. For anyone to ever think that they are suffering, or that they are so overly sad that they'll never be better, it has a lot to do with a single thought in your head of thinking that you're alone. That no one else is suffering like you are suffering.
Right.
That no one else is going through what you are going through.
So you kind of go through a denial phase.
It has a lot to do with the oneness of the spirituality. Anybody that's super spiritual has seen the word oneness. And it's simply that everyone is everything.
Right.
Like, I am you, you are me, we are the same being.
Right.
But we are literally just perceiving things at different angles.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you realize that when you are suffering, when you weren't suffering, someone else was.
Right.
And you didn't feel it, but you felt it.
Right.
All of a sudden you understand that you're suffering right now.
Yeah.
But that person that was suffering before when you were doing great, now they're doing great. Sometimes it's a give and take. There is a positive and negative vibration, and it does have to be equal.
So my point with coming back to Christianity in the first place was, if ancient religions could possibly have such a book, Crackpot, then is it really so crazy to think, oh my god, I lost it again. Fucking hell. These headphones kill it for me.
I love it. It puts me in my zone.
Puts me in the mode.
Even having them on kills me. I hate using them while I'm playing guitar.
Yeah.
Coming back to Christianity and all common religions nowadays. If an ancient civilization could get all of that, and they put together the telescopes, and they looked at the stars, got the information, and went to other fucking planets, and got the shit that we don't even fucking have here.
Right. Yeah, relax.
Why are common religions not even based on fucking astrology, except for the ones not in this country?
Most of their basis
drive them out.
Was. That's like inherently that's a reason why I said like I'm not going to frown upon somebody that says that Jesus was here or says that he wasn't, like, because you're reading a book that makes you better.
I believe that Jesus was a real person.
I don't know. I can't sit here and say that I do know.
Right.
All I can sit here and say was there was a book. And that book was written about a person, and it changed a lot of people's lives for the better.
Right. It also created damage.
It did create damage,
people
but I also think
perceived it wrong.
I think it created
went about it a wrong way.
I think it created tension that it needed.
Yeah,
there needed to be tension in something that was so. Anytime there's something seriously enlightened, there's going to be a whole background of people telling you you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
If someone doesn't tell you you're wrong, then you're wrong. 100%. If you say something and not a single person says you're wrong, you are wrong.
Yeah, ain't that a hard concept to grasp? Like,
yes.
Because like you don't know sometimes, like, and if somebody tells you no, sometimes if it's an influential person in your life, like you might listen.
Yeah.
To that. So it's like, you have to kind of wade through it, and it's heavy, and you got to carry that around with you. Like. You've got and there's just a lot of stuff going on that we can't see too.
Yeah, true.
A lot of stuff, like
I think
different forces and energies, and
I think everything that's inherently real can't be perceived.
Yeah.
And is that in line with our earlier conversation?
It's in line with one of the thoughts that we are inherently in a simulation. Is simply that. This probably is a simulation, and the only reason that we can perceive it is because it's not 100% real.
So do you think
it's just in this frequency?
If you think if we sat here, I know that language is an awful barrier to fucking communicate through.
Yes.
But, like, you think if we sat here and talked for long enough, we'd break it?
What do you mean?
Would we break the Matrix?
No, not at all.
No, we could sit here for months straight.
If we sat here and we generated our fucking frequency of consciousness up to a fucking crackpot level like I'm at all the time, we break out eventually?
That has a lot to do with what people was believing about this this last winter solstice that happened, and they were all like, oh, it's going to be very enlightening experience. Well, it was a very enlightening experience, because winter solstice is when the lines between us and spirituality is the thinnest. You can use that time period to get the most information you can out of the year. So the people that used those properly, there was 4 or 5 YouTube channels.
What's crazy, is I feel like I've had a lot of bad luck in the month of October.
Yeah?
I don't know what it is.
Just that month?
And knock on wood.
It's Halloween month, too.
I'm Christian. I'm sitting here being superstitious, not and shit. But, especially when I was younger, maybe not as much now. I feel like I make my own luck now, like I'm in a different mind state than I was back then. And I believe that's what correlates with where I'm at in life now. I feel like because I am becoming more one with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's showing on the outside now.
Yep.
And I noticed that when I drop off from that, I start to drop off from the physical part of it too. Like it's weird. It's like a weird balance.
Dissociation.
Yeah, to try to keep things going. Like mentally, you have to be there too sometimes. And it's just it's a wild
ride.
It is.
They say that the brain has 2 parts with thinking. Right? Obviously there's 2 cortexes.
Yes.
But they say that there's 2 yous, essentially, at least.
Yeah.
That is the common acceptance, is that there's a thinking you that takes care of all the hard tasks that are brand new and are not usual, and then the one that is rhythmic.
But if you...
with the flow.
That helps a lot of going into, how monks are different than us. Because their brains literally wired differently.
They fucking do training all day.
It's been proven. They've taken... literal EKGs of their brain to see where the sparks were, and their electric impulses are in places that we don't use, and some of them are linking themselves.
Fucking shaking.
Why?
I don't know.
You nervous? It's okay, man. It's really all good, dude.
Oh, no.
Like,
I'll try to keep up.
we're in the zone, man, and like,
I might just have to go pee. I don't know.
I mean, if you got to, get up, man. I mean, we'll leave it all in there. Who gives a fuck?
Get a bottle.
Excuse me.
Yeah. He's just relaxed.
Let it flow.
Yeah.
Tight pants.
It's all good, man. You gotta just relax.
I don't know if I'm shaking. I'll hear it through the microphone. Because I'll isolate.
Yeah.
I'll listen to everybody individually. I'll listen to it 3 times.
Yeah. You gotta calm down. It's okay. The
Deep
more
breath.
sometimes I find out, the more I worry. I'm a sneaker guy, right? Like, I love fucking sneakers. I'm a fucking just sneakerhead, you know, from way back in the day.
Do you get into like the shoe drops and stuff now?
A little bit. And we could talk more about that for sure. But my thing is like, I buy sneakers and I wear them, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a guy who fucking
Shelf
buys them and does all that shit. I buy them and I'll fucking ride a dirt bike in it now. I buy them because I want them and I like them and it reminds me of whatever, or, you know. But anyway, like, I find that, like, if I worry about that sneaker,
it gets
you know,
dirty
I put
so
that
fast.
fucking brand new white Air Force One on, you know, and I'm fucking walking, and then I'm all worried about it, I'll get a fucking stain on them.
Yep.
But if I don't give a fuck about the sneaker,
nothing ever happens.
No, it's all good.
It is how
it's
seems.
like whatever, man. And a lot of times they last me longer the less I worry about them.
You can put that into a relationship form too, in all actuality.
Yeah.
If you
And
have
that's
one of
what
those
I was doing.
relationships that's like effortless, like you're never worried about anything going wrong. It's just kind of effort. Like nothing almost ever goes wrong.
Yeah. Let's treat this podcast like it's that fucking Air Force One. We just don't give a fuck if it shines or if it, you know, we don't care if we got to walk through some wet grass or, you know, if you walk through wet grass with white shoes,
never the same.
They're probably going to be fucked
never
up.
the same.
Well, let's not worry about it, because if we worry about it, it's probably going to happen.
Yep.
But if we don't, then we'll become one with ourselves.
I just know that the energy,
tying it all together.
The energy that you put into is what you are.
What happens when
somebody... like say the vape shop, you put the energy in, this is a part of your identity now.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the podcast. You have to put that energy in that is a part of your identity. Yeah. The part that you're not scared of other people to see.
Right. What happens when somebody puts consciousness into you? Has anybody ever looked at you and said, oh, fuck. Oh, God, what's a good one? Like, oh, fuck.
Like a good
a picture. No, there's good pictures for it, actually. Conscious images where that certain texture image.
Yeah.
Does that get you?
No, I don't ever see anything when I look at it.
Okay, so like
I always see it.
Yeah, like, you know, the site, like the
there's
psychiatrist.
There's a thing called agoraphobia.
Like the one with the numbers, and then the one with the
It'd be like
3 things.
Look like a
what
painting.
Does it look like to you? And you always see the. I always see everything. I never see.
I
just
see the whole
one,
image. I don't see one thing.
Yeah, there is a thing that goes on in my head where initially I see like the most obvious one, but then I always see all of them by the end of it. But that's only because.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you use the different sides of your brain is the perspective that you're going to take in off of the situation. This is why, like, how they say, oh yeah, like most women are artists, but they see more beauty in life than men do. Let's get real. Those artists do see more beauty in life. They see something that's not very amazing, and then they paint it, and then it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do art.
See, and then on the other side of things, people
like
think
you can't draw, or you can't.
I can like visualize something and I can conceive it, but very basically, I'm not very good.
I'm super good at poetry.
I'm bad at poetry. I'm bad at writing songs, but I think I'm learning.
I'm scary good at poetry.
How's this sound?
It sounds pretty good.
It sounds shitty, or it sounds better this way? Either way.
It sounds better when it's right at the end.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. That's when it sounds best. The most crispy.
I was just checking.
I'm gonna keep
I'm
using
just
that
trying
word.
to get like comfortable, you know.
Yeah,
it is crispy.
It sounds crispy.
That's a cool like fucking term.
Yeah,
you know,
for
crispy.
audibles.
Like those Jordans are crispy.
Now if they say crunchy, that's something different. You don't want crunchy.
Nah.
For some reason,
we was
gonna
come in here Crash Bandicoot with 3 gaming headsets and.
What do you mean?
we thought we was going to come in here and we were going to have like tin foil with wire around it strapped to anodes and electrodes.
I was going to say, is this better gear than you expected?
This is great. I think this is good. And I mean, you guys came with the realness, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that, like, you know.
we try.
And I didn't, like, really have I just felt the vibe, man. I wasn't really like, oh, these guys are fucking crackpots. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was never coming at it like that. I was like, well, this is cool. Like, you know, because I've been wanting to do this anyway. And, like, these guys want to do it too. Like, let's see what happens. And fucking, you know, we can fucking put something together. Like, we can just fucking talk about different shit. I mean, we've went from A to fucking Z already.
Yeah, we went to a lot of topics already.
Like, as we go, we'll get more in depth in certain
areas,
things, or you know, all that stuff. And this is kind of the first time we're like really putting something together. So like,
it's going good for first episode.
We
might have.
I haven't seen any like gaps. I haven't seen any stuttering. I don't know if you guys have heard anything.
No, I haven't heard anything wrong.
No clipping. We're fucking fire right now.
See, but
like I set it up.
I will say the beginning we did have a stutter.
Oh, with the mics.
Yeah, like even like right when we got the mics ready, we wasn't sure where to go with it yet.
It's always shit right at the start because setup is a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Look how many cables.
I'm gonna acquire. I want you to price each item out. You don't have to do it right now.
Tell me, do it.
He said, "Do it."
But I want to get my own like setup and just be able to just flip an on switch and fucking roll.
You'd have to have a laptop and stuff ready and stuff too, though.
Because this is a lot. Like this isn't a lot. I mean, literally though, Sam, if you didn't have to go back home, it wouldn't have been. It really isn't that. We can make do. We can make do with this for a while, and like you said, we can kind of grow it and then add visual to it a little bit later, and kind of go on. I mean, you know, it takes a while. Yeah. It takes consistency, and that's what I told you guys. Like when we first talked, was like, you know, it is consistency. I mean, we did reviews, you know, on e-liquid and stuff. Like, I mean, we did that for. I don't even know, man. I got so many episodes